to over a dozen countries. My mom, fierce as she was, had given birth to a wimp like me. From childhood, besides decent grades, I wasn't like her in any way. I was also a hopeless romantic, a total love-struck idiot. Even though I knew Brandon was hard to pin down, I was so smitten by his looks that I practically begged to marry him. My mom glared at me for a while, then sighed. He's supporting a woman. Why can't you support a man? I have over a dozen sponsored college students. Which one do you like? I couldn't believe it. Mom, you want me to cheat? 0. My mom shook her head. No, I'm teaching you to love yourself. I was a little dazed. My mom continued. Relationships, male and female, are all about exchanging value. When you first got married, you were young, beautiful, and compliant, so he was willing to spoil you and put effort into you. But 5 years have passed, the novelty is gone, and you just stay home all day, like some frumpy old homebody. To Brandon, you have no commercial value and no emotional value. Tell me, what else could he want from you? I mumbled. But I gave him 2 children. Any normal woman can have kids. And you're not a breeding machine. My mom lit a cigarette, a faint, knowing smile playing on her lips. Audrey, your grandparents raised you. I didn't have time. I know they filled your head with a lot of old-fashioned ideas. 2. I'd never done anything so rebellious. For a moment, I was still stunned. My mom sat at her massive office desk, tapping her index finger against the surface. Audrey, choose. Be a princess or a nanny. Remember, you only get one chance. Miss it, and I won't help you again, and we won't see each other. She meant what she said. When I was hell-bent on marrying Brandon, she didn't answer my calls for 5 years. She even went abroad and had a daughter 25 years younger than me. My mom made it clear she couldn't entrust her vast empire to a fool like me. Her aura was incredibly powerful. I'd always been intimidated by her. If it weren't absolutely necessary, I wouldn't have swallowed my pride and come to her. I felt a bit guilty. Mom, can I think about? She pointed to the office door. You have 24 hours. After that, the offer's off. Get out, I have a meeting. On the way home, my mom's words replayed in my head. She said the reason she didn't want me to marry Brandon was because he was the youngest child in his family. People who are spoiled too much don't cherish people's feelings. And she'd secretly investigated. Brandon had been flirting with girls since middle school. I was just blinded by his good looks, utterly determined to marry him. I had to admit, my mom was truly prescient. As soon as I walked in, I noticed the house was quite lively. Brandon was already home and had brought someone with him. It was a young, beautiful woman in a white dress, with shoulder-length hair, stunningly gorgeous. She was curled up on my carefully chosen sofa, my 2 sons nestled on either side, while Brandon sat nearby, looking at documents. From my angle, they looked exactly like a family. But only I knew that the 4 of us hadn't eaten together in a very, very long time. When Brandon finally had time off, he always stayed in his study. The kids didn't like going out with me either. Now Leo, who was usually quiet, was excitedly holding Chloe's hand. "Aunt Chloe, you're amazing. You actually beat the Demon King. My mom can't even do that." The girl named Chloe smiled, her eyes crinkling. "Of course not. I'm the star player on our school's esports team." Brandon handed her a glass of milk. "All right, drink some milk first. You'll get a stomachache later. Audrey will be back soon to cook. Her famous steak is delicious. You'll definitely like it." They spoke so casually, as if I wasn't the lady of the house, but a hired cook. I looked at my sallow reflection in the mirror. Almost instinctively, I dropped the grocery bags on the floor and bolted. 20 minutes later, I arrived at Vivian's mansion. I rushed through the door, dropping to my knees with a thud. Loudly, I cried, "Mom, help me. I don't want to be a tired, worn-out housewife anymore. I'll listen to everything you say." My mom walked over. "Starting tomorrow, go see Julia. She'll help you." Then she turned to hug Lily, my little sister. I wiped a tear and turned to leave. Back at the Miller house, Brandon and the boys didn't realize I'd returned. Seeing the bags in my hand, Charlie cried that he was hungry. "Mommy, I want fried chicken wings." Leo wants shrimp. Brandon and the boys had sensitive stomachs. We used to have a private chef, but after we got married, my in-laws said I stayed home all day and should learn how to take care of them. So, I started from scratch, learning to cook delicious, healthy meals tailored to their needs. I became a wife who perfectly catered to the Miller family, but I also became a complete nanny. I casually tossed the bags onto the table and turned to face them. "I'm a little tired today, so I won't be cooking. Order takeout. Tomorrow I'll hire a chef. From now on, you can tell the chef directly what you want to eat." 3. I started to head upstairs, but Brandon blocked me. "Audrey, what do you mean? We have a guest today. How can you make her eat takeout?" "Guest?" I slowly turned my head, looking at Chloe. "She's just your company's secretary. What, am I, your wife, supposed to personally wait on her?" Chloe immediately teared up. "I'm so sorry, Mrs. Miller. I've caused you trouble." She picked up her bag, looking hurt. "I'll leave right away. Please, don't argue with Mr. Miller because of me." Leo rushed forward first. "Mom, how can you be so rude? Aunt Chloe is my friend." My younger son chimed in. "Yeah, Mom, you cook every day anyway. What's wrong with making Aunt Chloe a meal? Dad married you so you could do these things, didn't he?" Their righteous indignation made me feel like a complete joke. The slap from that afternoon started to sting again. My husband, whom I'd spent my youth with, and my children, whom I'd risked my life to bear, were all siding with someone else. I couldn't help but let out a cold laugh. "Audrey Foster, you are such a failure." Brandon, however, misunderstood. thinking I was throwing a tantrum. Fine, if you won't cook, then don't. Come on, Chloe, I'll take you out to eat. As they left, Leo deliberately took Chloe's hand, flaunting their closeness in front of me. He usually disliked physical affection. Even with me, he rarely let me hold his hand. Now, he was so eagerly trying to please Chloe. He really seemed to like her. I thought I'd be heartbroken. I instinctively touched my chest, but it felt hollow, filled only with an endless chill. After showering, I simply went to sleep. The next morning, no one knocked on my door to remind me to take the kids to school. I ended up sleeping until 11. After waking, I took another shower, washed my hair, and checked my phone. Julia had booked a slew of appointments for me. 0. Besides getting a haircut, buying clothes, and beauty treatments, there were over a dozen aesthetic procedures. When I got into the car, Julia looked at me as if she wanted to say something. What's wrong? She gave an awkward laugh. I just didn't expect that there wasn't a single dress in your closet. I silently followed Julia. First, we went to the hair salon where my messy hair was styled into loose waves. Then I bought dozens of new outfits. For the last appointment, Julia took me to the most reputable aesthetic center to consult about postpartum tightening and repair. Coming out of the doctor's office, my face was flushed. Julia, does it really have to be like this? Julia was matter-of-fact. This isn't just a health issue. It's about psychological and physiological satisfaction, and that's extremely important. To be honest, I had been bothered by leakage for a long time, and Brandon had even complained during sex. Over time, he stopped touching me. Sometimes when I initiated, he'd go hide in another room. Julia was right, sex was a very important thing. For because I hadn't cooked for Chloe that day, Brandon and the boys started giving me the silent treatment. Charlie was still young. Sometimes he couldn't help but whine and playfully demand attention from me. Leo, however, looked at me like a stranger. Every morning, he went to school with the new driver Brandon hired, ate out after school, and went straight to his room when he got home. All day, he wouldn't say more than 3 words to me. In the past, I would have panicked, terrified my son was mad at me. But now, I genuinely had no time for drama. That demon Julia had booked me for a ton of evening activities. Pilates, yoga, cardio boxing, horseback riding. Whatever had the highest calorie burn, she booked. After half a month, I'd lost 20 pounds. The clothes I bought earlier now needed to be altered. One morning, I woke up, ready to try on some clothes, and found Brandon and the boys at home. They were sitting at the dining table, eating egg sandwiches made by the housekeeper. Perhaps the food wasn't to their liking, as most of it was left untouched. Charlie was the first to see me and exclaimed in surprise, "Wow, Mom, you look so pretty now." I paused, subtly noticing Brandon and Leo quietly looking my way. A flicker of astonishment crossed Brandon's eyes, and Leo also seemed a bit stunned. "Audrey, how did you lose so much weight?" Wearing a lace camisole dress with flat slides and waist-length wavy hair, I looked incredibly captivating. Even Brandon, accustomed to beautiful women, found his throat dry. He was about to say something, but I held up a hand to interrupt him. "I'm heading out. We can talk later." After being married, how could I not know what he was thinking? I grabbed my new bag and car keys and left the house. I had more important things to do. My mom had mentioned those dozen sponsored students, and today she had Julia arrange for the most outstanding ones to meet me, so I could pick one to date casually. Honestly, when my mom first brought it up, I instinctively objected. "Mom, they're still kids, and I'm a mom myself. Let's not mess with them." My mom rolled her eyes. "Can you please show some ambition? Brandon is a dad too, and he feels perfectly justified in finding someone younger than him." "Audrey, the reason I'm encouraging you to play with younger men is to tell you to have a higher sense of self-worth. If Brandon can do it, so can you. You're my daughter. Our family, in terms of wealth and background, is just as good as his. Why should he get to treat you like dirt? RCH. The only difference is that he loves himself more than you do. So, what if they're college guys? As long as you like them, as long as you wanna, Mom can even find you high school boys if they're over 18. I rubbed my nose sheepishly, then recalled that my mom's new boyfriend was about my age. Theoretically speaking, she was pretty fierce too. How could she have given birth to such a soft daughter like me? After the lecture, I followed Julia to a private room at a club. 3 men were sitting inside, and Julia introduced them one by one. They were Caleb, the computer science department heartthrob, Liam from the sports department, and Zachary from the physics department. My mom had carefully selected them, and they had explicitly stated they were open to dating me. I casually asked a few questions and realized that both Caleb and Zachary shared a hint of Brandon's aloofness. So I didn't hesitate and chose Liam. He had the brightest smile and an outgoing personality. I figured we'd get along well. 5. Liam was quick to catch on and took me out for an afternoon of fun. He led me to try everything from dance machines to claw games. I'd been a stay-at-home mom for so long that I was a bit dull, and with the after-effects of childbirth, I was sometimes clumsy. Liam was incredibly patient, teaching me how to play the claw machine hand on hand. He was very tall, 6'2", and his constant workouts gave him impressive chest muscles. When he held me from behind, I could even smell his pheromones. It was a scent completely different from Brandon's. It made my face flush and my heart pound. The young man told me that his parents had passed away when he was young, leaving him with only his grandmother. He thought he wouldn't be able to go to college, but my mom was visiting his village for a business trip, rested at his house, and after hearing his grandmother's story, she immediately sponsored him to attend sports college. Liam had no ulterior motives. He simply felt that his benefactor's child was also his benefactor. He wanted to repay the kindness whenever he had the chance. It was then that I vaguely began to understand my mom's meaning. It turned out that I had trapped myself in many ways. As long as you have money, opportunities are endless. For instance, Liam in front of me was just as handsome as Brandon, and 10 times nicer. He was attentive and caring the whole time, and when we came across a small puddle on the path, he quietly said, "Excuse me," and lifted me over the step with one arm. On the car ride back, Julia asked if I liked him. I thought of his strong arm and couldn't help but lick my lips. Yes, quite a lot. When I got home, Brandon, for once, hadn't gone out. After I showered, he also came into the bedroom. We hadn't shared a room in over half a year. His sudden presence made me feel awkward. I clutched my chest. Is something wrong? Brandon choked slightly. You're my wife. What's wrong with me coming into sleep? Nothing, it was just unfamiliar. Especially when I thought of Liam's toned, muscular body, comparing it to my cheating old husband, it just felt off. So, I flipped over, and got out of bed. You can sleep if you want. I'm going to check on Charlie. I snuck into Charlie's room. He was hiding under the covers, watching his tablet. When he saw me, he quickly hid it under the bed. I said, "It's okay, don't hide it. I won't yell at you." Charlie happily resurfaced. Mom, why aren't you mad today? I'm tired. I don't have the energy. I'd been out all day, walked almost 200,000 steps. I didn't have the energy for that. But, where did you get that tablet? Aunt Chloe gave it to me. Oh, so she was trying to win over the kids. I felt even sleepier. Just as I was about to drift off, Charlie, who had been watching videos, quietly crawled over. He secretly peered at my face. Mom, you're not mad I'm watching short videos? No, I'm not. Why? No reason. Before, I didn't let him watch because I was afraid it would hurt his eyes. Now, I wasn't mad because I didn't care. I fell asleep before I even finished speaking. I didn't notice Charlie carefully lying beside my bed. He was premature, always sensitive and observant. He keenly sensed something was wrong but couldn't articulate why. He simply put the tablet back on the bedside table, then nestled into my arms. His right hand habitually clutched my ring finger, and he mumbled softly, "Mom, don't be mad, I won't play with the tablet anymore." He buried his head in my armpit. Smelling my faint scent, his heart gradually settled. 6. The next day was Saturday and Brandon was home. He'd been ignored by me all night, and his expression was quite sour. Leo, however, didn't seem to notice anything was off. At breakfast, he said, "Dad, when will Aunt Chloe be free? I want to play games with her." Brandon deliberately glanced at me. "I'll have the driver pick her up now." He was clearly trying to provoke an argument. I couldn't be bothered to respond. I had plans to meet Liam that afternoon, so after breakfast, I did some yoga at home. Charlie, for some reason, was glued to my side today. "Wow, Mom, you're amazing. You can do such difficult poses." I looked at his big, round eyes, and my heart softened a little. I couldn't help but ruffle his hair. "Want to join me? Mom will teach you." Yeah. While I was playing with Charlie, Chloe arrived. She was carrying several bags, filled with things for Leo and Charlie. Inside were cream cakes, fried chicken, skewers, and several large cups of soda. Chloe looked at me and smiled. "Oh, Mrs. Miller, you're home? My apologies, I didn't get anything for you." Brandon scoffed. "She's got high standards now. She wouldn't touch that food." Then he called Charlie over to eat. Charlie shook his head, handed Chloe a tablet, and then ran back to me. "No, I'm staying with Mom." A flicker of embarrassment crossed Chloe's face, and she turned to get Leo to eat. She acted like the lady of the house, expertly finding utensils in the kitchen, then making coffee for Brandon and pouring soda for Leo. After the three of them ate and drank, Brandon went into his study and Chloe followed. Leo, left alone at the dining table, clutched his stomach, complaining he didn't feel well. He almost instinctively looked my way. "Mom, my tummy hurts." But he found that I was holding Charlie and not paying him any attention. Leo had to repeat loudly, "Mom, my stomach doesn't feel good." In the past, I would have rushed to grab my car keys in a panic. But now, I just yelled into the air, "Brandon." After a long while, the two upstairs finally came out. Chloe's lips were a bit red, and Brandon's zipper wasn't even pulled up. "What's wrong?" "Your son doesn't feel well." Leo was like his dad, with a sensitive stomach. He couldn't handle oily foods. Plus, he was allergic to tomatoes, so he'd often get stomachaches if he ate them. Brandon saw me sitting there and immediately got angry. "Your son isn't well, and you won't take him to the hospital." I shrugged. "I have plans this afternoon. You're his dad. It's okay for you to take care of him." Brandon immediately retorted, "What do I know about hospital stuff?" "Then learn." I didn't learn it all in one day either. No one is born knowing everything. I rolled my eyes. "You have the nerve to bring other women into our house, but you can't even take care of your own son." "Brandon, what kind of man are you?" "Fine. I'll take him to the hospital." Brandon, fuming, pulled Leo and walked out. Because he pulled too hard, Leo stumbled. After they left, Charlie, still in my arms, whispered, "Mom, I'll stay with you." I squeezed my son's cheek. "Come on, Mom's taking you out to have some fun." I changed into a cute dress and put on some pink makeup. Charlie looked at me, his mouth agape. "Mom, you're so pretty now. Do you like it?" "Yes. I like Mom like a little princess." Silly boy, such a sweet talker. After meeting up with Liam, he took us to a game arcade. The three of us had an absolute blast. Brandon kept sending me messages. One moment asking for Leo's insurance number, the next asking for his height and weight. He was clearly determined to make me uncomfortable. So, I just turned off my phone and had a blast. Charlie stood on a tank model, excitedly shouting, "Mom, I want to be a soldier when I grow up and drive a tank to fight bad guys." Liam chuckled next to me. He was covered in sweat, but there wasn't a hint of impatience in his eyes. I pulled out a tissue, intending to wipe his brow. Liam bent down. Please, ma'am, help me. 0. His eyes crinkled in a smile, incredibly charming. Charlie was right in front of me, watching everything a flicker of confusion. 7 on the way home, Charlie asked me, Mom, are you going to divorce Dad? I stroked his head. Mom hasn't decided yet. I don't know for now. Then, if you divorce, who will I live with? Charlie can live with whoever he wants. You can't force things. There's no point in trying too hard to please others, even if they're your own children. After washing up, Brandon and Leo still weren't back. I did some spin cycling for a while, and then I heard a noise from outside. I thought it was just the father and son, but then Barbara, my mother-in-law, followed close behind. Her face was tight as she walked into the living room, looking like a storm was brewing. She had barely sat down when she slammed a cup, shattering it. Audrey, kneel. Me? What? You heartless tramp. Hurry up and kneel. I was baffled. If you're sick, go get treated. What are you raving about here? Barbara gasped for air, glaring at me intensely. You dare talk back? I think you've gone completely wild. She gritted her teeth, as if she wanted to eat my flesh and drink my blood. I smiled faintly. Mom, you came to my house this late just to say this? Barbara lifted her chin. Yes. I heard Leo had gastroenteritis today, a stomachache, and you, his mother, actually ignored him and went out to have fun. You are his mother. So heartless. Our Miller family can't afford a daughter-in-law like you. Either you kneel and apologize right now, or you divorce Brandon, leave with nothing, and get out of this house. I couldn't help but raise an eyebrow. What do you mean by leave with nothing? All the money in your bank accounts, the stocks and funds your mom gave you, all of it stays with the 2 children. And you just walk out. Ha ha ha, why? Brandon cheated. If anyone's leaving with nothing, it should be him, not me walking out empty-handed. Their greed was absolutely shameless. Brandon frowned. Audrey, it's come to this. Don't be so stubborn. Just kneel and apologize to Mom. Stop causing trouble. How ridiculous. He invited her here, and now he's trying to play the neutral party. I couldn't help but pull out my phone and show them the video I'd recorded earlier of Brandon and Chloe being intimate in the study. Mom, your son was having a lot more fun than I was that day. I didn't fight or make a scene. I just told him to take his child to the hospital. I think that's pretty fair to him. Barbara and Brandon hadn't expected me to have a video, and their faces instantly turned pale. There was a moment of awkward silence. Leo walked forward, looking a bit pathetic. Mom, I've had diarrhea all day, and my stomach really hurts now. Can you make me some carrot and pork rib porridge? I said, I don't have time. Ask the housekeeper to make it for you. His eyes dimmed, and he looked a bit sad. Mom, are you mad at me? I found it somewhat amusing. Did he care? Didn't he say he'd choose his dad if we divorced? If that's the case, why should I bother with an ungrateful brat? I looked directly at Brandon. Since I found out he cheated until now, the 2 of us hadn't had a proper conversation. I looked at him seriously. Brandon, tell me plainly now, do you want a divorce? Brandon wasn't used to me being so fierce. He coughed evasively. That's up to you. I snapped back. Don't you dare play games with me. You know exactly what I mean. Not wanting to waste time with him, I continued. If you want to stay married, either you cut off the woman outside, and we try to make this work, or you can keep your mistress and I'll get my boy toy, and we'll just mind our own business. Barbara looked incredulous. You dare to cuckold my son? He's the CEO of a company, the precious only heir of our Miller family. Having a mistress outside isn't too much to ask. But you? What are you? You use my son's money to dress up like some vixen and you want to cuckold him? Have you no shame? In. Before she could finish, my mom walked. She was expressionless. Who said my daughter has no shame? 8. The Millers had no idea that my mom and I had reconciled. For a moment, Barbara's face stiffened. Brandon also looked awkward, stiffly walking over. Mom, what are you doing here? My mom backhanded him. The crisp smack made everyone flinch. Everyone present was stunned. By the time they reacted, Barbara shrieked and charged forward. You old hag, how dare you hit my son? My mom grabbed her hands and slapped her too. I won't just hit him. I'll hit you, you old witch. How have you been gaslighting my daughter these past 5 years? She clearly has her own dowry. She's spending her own money. Why do you say she relies on your son? You've bullied her every day, forced her to learn this and that, serving her husband and sons. I know all about it. Arch. My daughter might not have grown up by my side, but her grandparents raised her like a treasure. You haven't raised her for a single day, so what right do you have to tell her what to do? As my mom ranted, she delivered another kick. You bastard, old hag, let you bully my daughter. I'll beat you to death, you old pervert. After her outburst, my mom elegantly brushed back her hair. Daughter, what do you say? I wanted to cry and laugh at the same time, giving her a thumbs up. Mom, you're amazing. Then I looked at Brandon. All right, my mom's here. Make your choice. Do we make this work, or do you do your thing and I do mine? Barbara was still wailing on the floor. Brandon was furious, glaring at me fiercely. Divorce. Audrey, you've gone too far this time. Anyone who doesn't divorce is a coward. That's what I was waiting for. I turned and walked away. Before I left, I looked at my 2 children. Mom will only ask you once. Who wants to come with me? Leo's eyes darted around. Charlie wildly raised his hand. Me. Mom, I'm coming with you. Then hurry up and pack your things. Don't worry about toys. Mom will buy you new ones at Grandma's. Charlie bolted. Everyone watched as we headed to the front door. Leo caught up. His expression was complex, seemingly disbelieving. Mom, are you really not coming back? I looked at him calmly. No, I'm not coming back. Not only was I not coming back, but I wouldn't want him either. A child whose heart wasn't with me had no meaning in being forced to stay. Leading Charlie, I got into the car. My mom watched me, smiling. You always seemed so timid as a child, but you reacted quickly this time. I smiled helplessly with her. It's all thanks to your constant reminders. If I didn't listen, I'd really be stuck living that miserable life, trying to fight off mistresses. I'm not that desperate. Still, after 8 years of a relationship and 5 years of marriage, I was undeniably sad. I buried my head in my mom's shoulder and felt her kiss my hair. Honey, cry if you need to. Mom's here. 9 back home, I truly understood how much effort my mom had put in for me. My bedroom, empty for 5 years, was still pristine, and the closet was filled with my clothes. Even my little sister, whom I barely knew, squealed sister, and wanted a hug when she saw me. Julia told me that even though my mom hadn't contacted me in 5 years, she knew exactly what kind of life I was living. She had even cried privately, asking Julia if she had neglected me, causing me to be so easily deceived by a man. My heart ached, filled with a mix of bitterness and sadness, and I couldn't speak. After a wonderful night's sleep, I woke up the next morning to find Charlie already off to school. My mom told me to come help at the company. I was a little surprised. Me? I can't. Not only had I been out of the workforce for 5 years, but even when I was working, my abilities were just average. My mom's eyebrows furrowed. What do you mean? Are you planning to be a freeloader in this house? Let me tell you, our foster family doesn't support idlers. If you want to live a good life, you'd better get your butt to the company and work like a dog. She was actually afraid I'd become isolated from the professional world and let my life fall apart. Even though it was out of kindness, she had to be fierce. I silently accepted the position of president's assistant and started working on company matters with my mom. Meanwhile, Julia moved quickly on the divorce. By the time she reminded me it was time to finalize the paperwork, I realized a month had already passed. Seeing Brandon again, he hadn't changed much. Chloe was behind him, and he looked at me like I was his enemy. After we finished signing the papers, he finally couldn't resist grabbing me. Audrey, I don't understand. Why did you have to divorce me? I pouted. If I didn't, what would happen to the pretty lady behind you? Brandon said, Chloe and I are nothing. Oh, but my lover is getting impatient. The door of an SUV opened, and Liam got out with an umbrella. Ready, babe? Our reservation is almost up. He wrapped his arm around my waist, purposely leaning very close to me. Brandon instantly lost it. Who is that man? I rolled my eyes. None of your damn business. The car sped away, and even from a distance, I could hear Brandon yelling, Audrey, you actually dared to cuckold me. My phone in my pocket rang frantically. My mom in the back seat smirked wickedly. What a pathetic man. He only feels comfortable when he's trying to snatch things back. I immediately blocked Brandon's number, and the world finally became peaceful. Back at Foster Enterprises, life became busy. Every day, besides running projects, I had to learn all sorts of new knowledge. I felt like my mom was a real slave driver, dumping all the work on me and then running off to date her boyfriends. She had already broken up with a fitness trainer and was now with a financial tycoon, and they seemed to be getting along well. That Mr. Richard always brought me gifts whenever he saw me. My mom would playfully glare at him. Why spoil the child? Be careful. You'll ruin her. Her coy expression made my heart melt. But privately, she said, your Uncle Richard is truly suitable as a partner. How long have we been seeing each other? And he's already secured hundreds of millions in investments for me. We'll buy that land on the west side tomorrow. Well, my mom would always be my mom. She never did anything without a benefit. But thanks to her, I also understood that a person's value has many faces. I could also successfully negotiate projects, execute plans, and make countless decisions. After doubling the company's profits, I even received a collaboration offer from Miller Corp. On the day of the meeting, Brandon came in person to negotiate. He initially thought the contact person would be Julia. When he saw me sitting in the main chair, his face subtly changed. Throughout the entire negotiation, I remained very polite. Afterward, he stopped me, an unconcealed look of admiration in his eyes. Audrey, you're quite impressive now. You've really surprised me. Too bad your company isn't doing so well. As far as I knew, after our divorce, he hadn't stayed with Chloe. He dumped her. Chloe, furious, went to a rival company and sold many of his secrets. Miller Corp's business took a heavy hit, losing tens of millions. Unable to do anything else, he had to go around trying to secure new deals. His expression was a bit awkward, and he was about to say something else, but I wasn't interested in listening. Before I left, Brandon asked me, Leo said he wants to see you. Can I bring him to your place? I shook my head. It's not convenient. My boyfriend would mind. Tell him that since he chose his dad, he has to bear the consequences. We don't need to see each other again. I'll pay his child support on time. As for anything else, there's no need to discuss it. Brandon still tried to ask, what about our collaboration? I didn't look back. The project manager will get back to you. Though most likely, their products wouldn't match our needs. But I wasn't going to let Brandon know that so soon. That evening, back home, while helping Charlie with his homework, my phone suddenly rang. A strange number. I answered, but there was no sound. Just as I was about to hang up, Leo's tearful voice came through. Mom. When are you coming home? Mom isn't coming home. Why? Leo, your dad and I are divorced. You know that. Then what about me? You don't want me either? Leo, you're the one who didn't want me. How could a mother give up on her own child unless her heart was completely cold? The other end fell silent. After I hung up, Charlie quietly squeezed my hand. Mom, don't be sad. Leo loves you. Does he? Maybe, but I don't care anymore. Now I have my own career, a man I'm happy with, and the most important thing is to work hard and make money. If one day Leo wants to come back, then as his mother, whatever Charlie has, I will give to him too.